I won't deny it, I'm a straight rider. You don't wanna fuck with me. Got the police bustin' at me, but they can't do nothing to that.
Welcome to Sneaks View, episode 3. Here with another car enthusiast. He's going to introduce himself, tell you where he's from, and then we'll just kind of dive right in.
My name is Oscar Montes, here from Yakima, Washington. Driving a 1973 Chevy Impala.
All right. So, off the bat, just kind of give me a background story of what got you into cars, man.
You know, as a kid, I had one of my uncles, a longtime family friend, got married to one of my aunts, and he's always had, his whole family's always been into cars, and, you'd go into the backyard, it was like to us, it was, something amazing, you walk in there and there's a bunch of old cars, anything from, trucks, cars, bombs, and you go back there and it was like, wow, it's like when I grew up, I want to have something like this, and, every day I go back there and I'm like, oh, I want to learn how to work on these cars too, so, as a kid, I'd always like going over there, and his dad, he'd always put us to work right there. He loved people going over, and he used to love when people go over, So, every time you go back there, you better have a wrench in your hand and, help him out. So, that's kind of what got me into him, and, started helping him, with whatever I could. As a kid, you didn't know much, but you start learning as you go, and you start, learning what, the different body parts called, and, all the different parts of the cars and stuff. So as you get older, you kind of realize like, man, I want something like this, and you kind of just go from there and, go what you can get what you can afford, or, and go from there.
I'm just going to throw this out. Was this Chachis' dad's house?
Yes, sir.
That guy, and you're not lying, dude. That guy it's like a junkyard of just jewels, man. And you're right. That guy has, in fact, in one of the future episodes, I'm gonna actually bring him on and sit down, because he has that. What year is that Riviera he has?
Oh man,
it's like 64, no?
Yeah, it's around there. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but red and black one.
Yeah.
He had a green one as well, and yeah, like I said, that guy he doesn't keep a car, but he builds nice cars when he does.
Yeah, so I'm gonna actually bring him on. It's funny because I'm going to try to get him on a day where the weather is nice, because I do want to record in his backyard. Because he still has, I think he's sitting right now on some 60 Impalas, a 64 Impala. They just picked up like I think a 55, right? That green one. Did you see that?
I haven't seen that one.
It's a clean one. He traded his truck for it.
No, I haven't seen that one. I did see all the 60s they bought. They picked up like 10 60s, and they flipped a couple already, and cousin of mine's building another one right now.
Oh, yeah? So. Oh, shit. So, because I know one thing about Chachis' dad is it's always been muscle cars, not lowriders.
Yeah.
So, what made you go towards lowriders?
Well, like I said, one of his sons, Chachi, he always had a 77 Monte Carlo, I believe, a yellow one, the Tequila Sunrise. Him and his brother built that, and as a kid, I said, I'm gonna get me one day, and I remember growing up, I said, man, how can I afford one of these, So I always try to work, whatever I can, hustle wherever I can. And one day his brother came out and he had a '73 Impala. It was a nice car. It was sitting on 22s. I'm not a big fan of big wheels, but to each their own. And I said one day I'm gonna buy that car. And then I ended up moving to Gillette, Wyoming one year. And when I got back, I heard his car was for sale. It was a fully built car. I mean, it had interior paint, some chrome in the engine, and he gave it to me for a good price. At the time, I paid $3,500 for it. And just as time goes on, you kind of learn what you want to do. You want to put your own touches to it. So I rebuilt that car from the ground up again, took it off the frame, and it sat off the frame for a while. Kind of gave up. It kind of motivation gave up because you see that car in pieces. It's like, man, I'll never be done with it. And as time goes by, you kind of start putting more money into it, and you start seeing it together. So you kind of get motivated to keep going. And so I did the frame. I painted the frame white with some blue skulls. I painted Jesse Smith painted the undercarriage for me. He painted that blue. I had the interior done, and I had it repainted. I did the engine myself with a buddy of mine. We rebuilt the engine. We chromed it all out and slapped that back in. And then a couple years ago, a buddy of mine passed away, and we were going to his funeral. And there was a fire truck that kind of cut everybody off. And my car, we were going down the underpass, and my car's super heavy, and going down the underpass, I tried to brake, but there wasn't enough time to brake, and I rear-ended somebody, so had to start back from square one again. So
there's a lot. You can say you have a lot of love for this car. It ain't going nowhere.
And it ain't going nowhere anytime soon. Got 3 pumps, 8 batteries. I used to have all 12 switches on it, but I took those back off and just put 4 on it. But the kids come over and they love the car. I ain't going nowhere.
So check this out. I know that's your that's your car. That's the one that you pride and joy. But I mean, for a moment there, you had a convertible '64, man. So I was kind of like, which way is this guy going? Is he gonna put this one away, or gonna get rid of it and put all the effort into this one, or what was the deal with that?
I got a really good deal on that car, man. It was a really good deal, and I was able to make some fast cash, So that car had a lot of rust, it had a lot of rust, but it was a runner. It was a beautiful car. But I can't pass up on some good cash, when they offer you good money, straight off the bat. So I said, that car's got to go. And actually, right before that, I picked up a 1959 Ford Galaxy, 1959 Ford. I had a Clydesdale with some
the red and white one, huh?
Yeah,
I remember that one. Okay,
had a model on the hood, had some had little stuff done to it. And when I got divorced, that divorce ain't no joke. They'll drain you with whatever they can. And, so
they took you to the divorce.
No, I had to sell it. I had to sell it. So help pay for the divorce there. And, that's later on throughout the years, that's when we came across that 1964 Impala. And it was a beautiful car, man. But like I said, when they offer you good money for it, it's just got to go sometimes.
So are you ever going to try to get back and get that kind of Galaxy? Or you're like, man, I'm moving forward?
No, that Galaxy was beautiful. Like I said, I actually just picked up another car. It's a '79 Cutlass. I just threw some wheels on right now. My kids are getting old enough to where they can drive now, so building that for them right now.
That's the one you're patterning out, right? You're putting patterns on that?
No, I actually picked up that one right before I picked up this one. That was a '78 Cutlass, and I took it to my buddy down there in Tri-Cities to get it painted for me, and he's like, hey, man, I'll give you some cash for it right now. I said, how much, And
cash you out for it?
He cashed me out for it. He said,
oh, shit.
He said, I was like,
so it ain't coming back.
He said, check this out, though. He goes, I'm going to make some money off of it because I'm going to paint it. And I said, bro, I was like, do what you got to do. Just give me my part. And, that car ain't coming back. And we were actually getting a new place at the time. So I used that money for, down payment on our new house.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, so then, now we're able to get another one for the kids. And summer's right around the corner. So trying to build that up for the kids and get them moving on something, too.
Cool. I remember back when you guys were younger, Chachi had like an orange '63 Galaxy.
Yeah.
Weren't you the owner of that one too?
'63. No, I loved it. I would always just take pictures in it.
Okay.
I'd always just take pictures in it, but it was it's still in town somewhere. It's a orange Galaxy with a orange pattern top. It had orange and white interior.
Like the lace top.
Lace top. Yeah, it was a beautiful car, and somebody out in Moxie picked that one up, and I haven't seen that car since. I seen it on Craigslist. I looked it up, but the guy wanted too much, man. We just couldn't bring it back. But it was a beautiful car now. I wish I could own it at some point.
I think you're right. I think Chachis' brother was telling me it was for sale for like I think right like 5 Gs right now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think it had a little bit of abuse though.
Yeah, for sure. The guy that had it, I mean, this car's been sitting and they don't do nothing to them. They kind of just, rust away.
Yeah.
So.
Then with that, it's not for sale. I'm gonna build it.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. Yeah, you talk to people and it's not for sale. They're gonna build it one day and it just sits there and rusts out or give no cars no love.
No, that's good. And I know you got a lot of other hobbies too, man, right? Because you also you do MMA fights, right?
Yeah. I'm an amateur MMA fighter. I'm 3-0 right now. I have a fight May 21st here in a couple weeks, and this beer ain't doing me no good, but I can't leave the beer.
We'll just say it's a part of the training process.
Yeah, it's part of the training process. You drink beer, so it makes me want to work out even harder. Just knowing, that I got a fight coming up. So, but yeah, I'm currently 3-0. My first fight, we went all 3 rounds. It was a kickboxing match. We went all 3 rounds, and that guy tore me up pretty good. I won him. I knocked him out twice, I think, in the first round, but he got back up, and the second round knocked him out once, and the third round, man, I didn't know there was another third round. I didn't have nothing left in me.
Yeah,
So I was just defending myself, but it was good. It was good. I fought that one at 185, and my second one was at 170. A guy by the name of Gerardo Herrera out in Mount Vernon. I fought him, and I TKO'd him in the first 14 seconds. Then he wanted a rematch in the cage. That was a kickboxing match. He wanted a rematch in the cage, and gave him a rematch. And I knocked him out in 54 seconds the second time. So this next time around, I got another fight coming up. I'm gonna fight at 170 again. So yeah.
So here's my other question, because we all have hobbies, we all have lives, like work, so on. How do you balance that between low riding and the MMA fighting? Because I know you got your fights, you got your shows. It's kind of like, I know when I was younger and I was doing a little bit of the shows with like my son's bike, he was into boxing, and so I had to balance that out, man. Like, which way am I gonna go? Am I gonna go to the show, or are we gonna do this? And a couple of times, I went to the show and then I kind of felt kind of bad, and it's like, man, maybe I need to like stick it this way. How do you balance yours out?
It was funny because you say that because was it May 14th is the Lowrider show out in
Correct.
Portland?
Yep,
Yeah,
out in Portland.
They offered me a fight out there, and I was like, man, that's a Lowrider Super Show, coach. I was like, I can't take that. I'm gonna try to make my best to make it out there. He's like, hey, no worries, man. So they offered me a fight a week later, and so I took the one the week later because like I said, my kids love the lowriding and they like to see me fight. So we try to keep them around both. So like I said, if I'm able to still take a fight and still go to the lowrider show, I'm gonna try to do both. And so my Monday through Friday schedule is go to work 6 to 4:30 and get off work, get ready, go to the gym, be there till about 7:30, come home, eat dinner, and play with the kids for a little bit or something. And I have 2 older boys that live in Wyoming, so just talk to them often. And here comes the summertime, they're gonna be able to come down here. So like I said, that's why we're trying to build them that other cutlass we got going right now. And it's funny that you brought up that lowrider bike though, because as you remember, we purchased that from you. So yeah, so my little brother got that one, and we bought that cutlass, and he's hoping to buy that cutlass off of me, but it's just like, I wish I could give the kids everything, but we got to make them work for their things too, show them how things are done. Yeah, that bike was a birthday present from my mom and us, so that bike was a birthday present from us. But try to keep them out of trouble and stuff. Growing up, I wasn't very very motivated on the right path. So try to change their life, and help them out with whatever they can. So
I think our paths help us become who we are as adults. So
for sure.
I mean, I went through some rough patches too, and I wouldn't change any of it because we're good where we're at. I mean, like I said, you got a new house, good area. Mm-hmm. Like I said, you got that car going, you got another car. I mean, you're doing a lot of things for your family, man, and that's. And then you're following through with your hobbies. You're doing the MMA stuff. You're still doing low riding. So, you just learn. You learn from it. You grew, and you're better off.
Yeah.
So is this 73 Impala your final car? Is this your dream car, or do you have one that you really want?
It's, like anybody would say, it's a 1959 Impala, but finding one of those even rusted out, you're looking at $30,000. So I'm hoping to find that right old man that just wants to get rid of it and hop on it. But my dream car is a 1959 Chevy Impala, convertible, of course. And if I can't settle with that, it had to be, you know, between 60 to 64 Impala convertible, and you know, something hard top. And hopefully one day, you know, my kids will graduate, they'll probably take over this car and we'll start on another one, you know. But hopefully my next car will be a convertible.
It's funny you say that, because in one of the first episodes with Robert, that's one of the ones he shot, like kind of shot down. Oh, you know, one of the dream cars is, and he said 59. So I think that's just a common car with people.
Yeah, for sure. That's, I mean, in the lowrider community, you know, that's the king of the cars right there.
No, and I don't doubt one bit. Mm-hmm. So what's the plans then for this summer, man? Because I know cruising's coming and everything. You know, that car's ready to roll.
Oh yeah, that car's ready to roll. I mean, it's, like I said, it's sitting on 3 pumps. It's got a 307 for an engine. It's cammed out, gear driven. You know, it's got a little love. You know, slow and slow. We reinforced it all the way around with what is it, 1/4 inch steel. So it's a heavy car, man. It's a heavy car. It definitely doesn't stop on a dime.
It's like a tank.
Yeah, that thing's a tank, but I mean, you know, we cruise it around. It's a driver. It's definitely a driver. You know, it's no trailer queen by no means. You know, it's fully done. You know, I got quite a bit of trophies on it. Won some money down in Legends with it, and you know, whenever they do car show, they did one car show out there one time.
Yeah, it was a long time
ago.
ago.
Years ago. But you know, I want to hopefully redo it here soon. You know, like I said, I drive my cars, and I mean, I won't trailer them nowhere. Like I said, I'll drive them everywhere, and you know, we'll repair whatever gets done to it.
So you said redo. What are you gonna redo to it if you redo it?
So, you know, from driving it down the road all the time, you get all those rock chips and everything on the frame. So yeah. So hopefully repaint the frame, and you know, I got young kids, so you know, one day I was hammering on my wheels, you know, tightening up my wheels, and my son got a hammer from the garage. I didn't see him, and he thought he can hammer the door to help me tighten up the wheels. And so you know, little dings and dents around the car. So I gotta definitely fix that kind of stuff up.
No, I know that feeling, man. There was a point in time it was a 79 Regal, and we had some taillights out there, and my son was out bashing taillights and everything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, oh man, you know, I could have used that. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, and it's like, you know, they're trying to help, so of course you kind of get mad, you know, but you can't get mad at them because they're just trying to help. You know, they're kids, so you know, you're just trying to freaking laugh about it, but it's kind of hard because you know you paid big money for that, you know. So
the one time that was beneficial for me, so I was working on my Monte, and I was wiring everything up because we, you know, from the ground up.
Yeah.
And I could not find the wire for the fuel gauge. Man, I looked everywhere, and then because back then I wasn't really using the internet, I was just kind of like going off stuff, and
internet wasn't a thing back in the day
either.
either.
Not like how it is now.
Yeah.
Because like now, like recently, I did the digital gauges on the
YouTube,
Monte,
baby.
and not just YouTube, but I went on a forum on Facebook for Monte Carlos, and I said, does anyone have the wiring diagram for the plug that goes behind the cluster?
Yeah.
And some guy like produced it like that. Yeah. And then I was able to wire up the digital gauges off that.
Internet's definitely something different nowadays.
So my younger son, he was back there moving wires and shit in the trunk, and then I'm over here under the dash still looking at the gauges trying to figure out, okay, which one is it? Yeah. And then out of nowhere, I saw the gas gauge go up, and I was like, holy shit. So I quit touching, you know, and because my youngest was in the back, and I heard Cruz like moving wires, and I was like, did he find it? And so I just kind of looked back there, and then I was like, keep moving those wires. Yeah. And as soon as he did it, the gauge shot up again. And I was like, keep your hand there and don't move.
Back there.
Yeah. So trust me, man. I mean, sometimes the help they give does help.
Oh no, for sure. Like I said, not too long ago, one of my solenoids was it was burnt out. You know, so you know, I go in the car. You know, my son's 5 years old. I'm like, son, get in the car, touch the switch. You know, tap it up. You know, so I'll go back there and make sure there's nothing arcing or nothing. And, you know, I go back there and I'm like, all right, it's this. It's, you know, it's my my back solenoid or something or whatever, you know. So yeah, they're definitely a help, you know, but that's all they want to do, you know, is help. But you know, sometimes they do a little more damage than actually helps.
But I think the main thing is you know, they're spending time with us. They're right there. So I mean, that's those are solid moments you can't get back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah. Like I said, you want to get mad, but you know you can't because they're just trying to help. But it definitely hurts the pocket a little bit.
A lot.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, dude, I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to come out and sit here and just bullshit with you, talk about your car. After you know we let this bruise settle down a little bit, we're gonna go out there and roll that car and
no, for sure, let's do it. Yeah,
get some switches. So all right, man. So I'm gonna close up the shop, man.
Cool, yeah.
When you do any updates, any changes, let me know. We come back. We'll sit down. We'll do another video, man.
We'll do. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys coming over and taking your time to come do a little podcast with us.
Hell yeah, well, shit. You invited us over in your house, and it's cool, man. I appreciate it. So thank you for taking the time. This is a Sneaks View, episode 3. This is Oscar out of Yakima, 73 Impala. See you at the next one.